Hey guys, Brian here from Connie's Country Living. Today I'm going to show you how to do some wood carving, and also through this video I'm going to show you how to do some wood burning as well. This here is my faith, trust, and peace sign, and I've been carving this for a bit now. What I have in mind is this here is going to be a branch, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that along the way. But it's going to be a branch like that will go down, and this will be the Y of the branch, and then it will say faith, trust, and then it will say peace. Anyways, what we're going to start with is just kind of drawing out where we kind of think we're going to go. It's not going to be exact science, but it will be basic idea of where it's going to be. And I'm kind of going with the knots as well, because the knots are obviously branches that were once there coming out of the tree. And so if I use the knots as my branch, then it will accent it even further, because it will actually look like a branch. So we're going to go with my knives here, and I got several different types. I got a straight blade here, and you can put your finger on it and kind of do deep gouges. So if I wanted to go in further, I can kind of push down into the wood, and then I can draw my line. And when I work this back and forth, I'm going to go in this way, and then I'm going to go down this way. But if you've noticed, I'm not on the line up here because I'm still cutting inward. And after, I'm going to follow this line, and then I will make my shape like I have over here. You got more of a slim kind of blade here. So again, you're always dragging. And then this one here, it's like a claw, so you can really get down. Now, I take my bigger knife here. Again, if you had have seen me talk about it on my wood carving video on my channel here, you would have seen that I use my buck knife a lot. And I always have my fingers here, fingers behind the guard there, and that way it's never ever, where it's going to cut my fingers off or any of that kind of matter. We go into our other stuff here. Now, as you see, because I've gone in there and I've gone with the knife, now I can take my spoon here, and just like that, it's starting to take shape. And if you guys are looking for anything nice and neat and tidy, don't be looking at this channel, because there's nothing that's nice and neat and tidy. There's a lot of dust. And if you guys hadn't noticed, I'm keeping my hand way back this time, because not too long ago, the last time I took a crack at this thing, I almost lost the tip of my thumb. Just completely slipped because I was holding it the wrong way, putting my hands in the wrong spots, and I slipped, and it nearly took the tip of my finger right off, and I had to glue it back on, and then a band-aid for several days, and it was very awkward. So always think where your hands are at, because there's no forgiving. It's things happen in a heartbeat, and you always remember, majority of your stuff happens while you're at home, because it's in your comfort spot. But yeah, there you go. That's basically the basic principles there. And alright guys, so now that we got the main outline carved in here and roughed in. I'm going to go back through it again, and I'm going to get it more pronounced and more detailed. So I want to start with this blade here, and this is just a really fine blade, and I want to just come into the areas here. And what I'm doing is I'm holding it like this, and I'm dragging it, and then I'm cutting it. Dragging, cutting. And as you can see, it just takes out nice big chunks like that there, and then it's really pronouncing it already. So I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to keep doing the same process. I'm going to work it into the crack, and I'm just going to take little bits at a time, and then just like that, you're just taking chunks at a time, and you're really digging down into it, and you're pronouncing the piece of wood. And as you can see, I have it locked down on both sides so that I'm able to use both my hands and my piece is not moving around anywhere. And another technique that I like to do is I put my finger like this, and I'm doing that right now. I kind of push down and I roll it like this, and that way we can just take out these chunks like that. But yeah, as you can see, it's just taking out the chunks, and then we're going to take the spoon here that you saw earlier in the video, and we're just going to go in here, and I'm just taking it like this, and I'm just working all the broken bits back and forth. You see, we're getting it really nice and pronounced right in here. Now I want to take this blade right here, and I just want to take it like that. And I put my finger up here. This is not sharp up here, this is flat. So I put my finger there, and I'm just running it along where the branch is right here. And I'm keeping in mind what a natural branch looks like. So as you can see, with using this hook here, I've got it all shaved out. And I am going to use this chisel here with the angle on it, and I'm going to go down and I'm going to curl it. And as you can see, because I'm just going in like this and then up like this, and prior I took that claw blade and I dragged it, right? So now, because I'm going like this and I'm breaking it all, it's coming right out in strands, and you can pretty well pull it out. And then it will all come out just like that. And this has always been a massive passion of mine through the years. My Uncle Kevin, when I was a kid, used to carve me a cane every single year. And through that, if you've been watching some of my shorts, through that whole ordeal, it made me want to carve my own canes through the years. And as you've seen with my shorts again, carving canes has always been a very relaxing thing to me. Or I just dropped the short the other day of the hummingbird, and you know, carving things like that. When I carved that hummingbird initially, I was in Algonquin Provincial Park in Northern Ontario, and I was just sitting there having a nice fish fry and, you know, looking over the lake, and you know, and that's kind of how a lot of my carvings come to be, because I'm just taking back nature, taking back into the elements, and getting back to the roots of myself again. Anyways, back to what we were doing here. Right now I'm just going like this, and I'm digging into that corner. Again, I'm remembering exactly what a natural branch would look like while I'm doing this. So now I'm going to take it so the edge is like that and the edge is this way, and now I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to go like that nicely and just clean up all my lines so I can get it flat again and kind of see where my template is. Also, if there's any of you guys out there that have any tips and tricks of ways that I can improve, that would be great to put them down in the comments, because I love reading all the comments and love learning. And like I said at the start of all this, it's a deep passion of mine, and it's something that I really, really want to learn more of. Alright, so now that we have the bulk of this is all cleaned up here, so now I'm going to take my smaller spoon here, because I want to kind of give it like a little bit of an effect to it, if you will. Like kind of just make it look like a natural piece of wood and not something that's flat. So I'm just going to lightly go like that again. So as you can see, the objective is not to take big, massive chunks out and gouges out like we were doing before. It's more so just to give it kind of a nice effect, flatten it out, but not too much of a flat. You still want to I want to make it kind of look like bark, kind of. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. And with it looking like bark, you don't want to do long, consistent drags and digs. The further you drag, the deeper it will go into your chunk of wood. And to give this effect that's up here, what I'm doing is I'm making kind of a longer drag here, but then I'm carrying on into this area here, and I'm just kind of doing little rolls with it. So I'm just going in there like this, and I'm popping just little chunks at a time, and so it will kind of like go like that. But I'm going to take my other carving blade here, right there, and because this corner is all getting all shaggy and everything like that, I'm going to take this and I'm just going to go into that corner, pushing down fairly firmly. I'm just going to work at that corner and do drags away from the corner. So I'm going into the corner and then dragging away. And again, I'm deep enough now where I'm going under the branch, so that the branch will actually look like this in the end, and the wording will be in the branch, in behind. So this branch will look like I mounted this branch to a board, but instead I actually carved the branch out of a live edge board, because as you would have seen, this was rounded just like the other board. Angled chisel again, running it along the branch where I just took all these gouges out. I'm going to take it with the angle just like this, and I'm going to run it along the branch. And then when I get closer to the pointed area right in here, I turn it around, and then I kind of do this in this way so that you'll get the really nice crotch effect with the branch here. How many people just took that out of context? And now, just like you would have saw me do up here, I'm now doing the same thing. I'm just dragging, I'm going into the corner here and popping out all of the loose debris, just like that. And then I'm turning the thing so it's like this. And then I'm going to run it along the branch. Like that. And that will clean up the edge and also give it a really nice branch effect. I can literally have every knife known to man around me and chisels, and still I resort back to the buck knife. I don't know why, but yeah, see? All nice and pronounced. And now I'm going to go at this edge here, and then I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to make the whole top part here, and yeah, we'll have to switch this all around. Well, there you have it. See? Be a little bit more work at it yet, here and here, with some sanding and a little bit more chiseling and knife work in here, just to kind of give it a little bit more of a rounded effect. But I won't waste your time anymore anyways. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go into this side here, because I'm just going to show you how I'm going to get the top part of the branch to be really nice and pronounced, because as you can see throughout here, it still kind of looks like a full piece of wood, and I want to get that really pronounced and rounded, just like underneath here. So anyways, flip that around, clean our table off here, and then we'll grab our clamps. And I'm working on the upper edge now, so I want to make sure that the clamps are not going to be where I'm going to be carving. I feel like we'll go with the small blade here again to start with, and again, just as you saw on the area below here, I'm going to take the blade and I'm going to kind of go in this way along here, and then I'm going to come in here. If any of you guys have ever filleted a fish before, well, it's a lot like that. See, just like down here, like you would have saw earlier in the video, I already know that this section here is going to be like over here. It's going to be flat and there's going to be a word on there. So all of these lines here are just to get it down to my flat area. So that's why I'm just putting multiple lines like this. And then, again, like you saw on the bottom there, we're taking our angled chisel, and you can see what I mean. The drag marks going through are only the depth of the blade, and it all determines on how hard you push on it. If you're pushing it more deep, you're going to go further, a little bit more of an angle, less, and so that's why I just quickly go like this, because now we can go back in. And as you can see, now we're getting that very pronounced branch look, and it's starting to separate from the actual piece of wood. So now we're going to go back through and we're just going to use the claw blade here. And as you can see, this area here has more of a swoop because I was using the chisels, and at the time I didn't actually have the knives. So we're just going to take that rounded part out there, and again I'm just dragging it, and I'm kind of using it like this, and I'm just repetitively making continuous lines in there. And again, the angle chisel. And that right there is why I like to use 2 clamps, but I could not get it because of the roundness here. Alright, now we're going to take this big spoon here, the big blade here. Now you can see how I've cut all those lines, and now I'm just working flat across and then chopping it out. Well, there you guys have it. Some of the wood carving skills that I've learned through the years. And I really can't believe just how well this piece turned out. This has always been a vision of mine for as long as I can remember, to have this style of sign made, and to actually see it the way it is now. I can't wait for the upcoming steps that we will be doing in the next video. But yeah, I'm really happy with the carving that went on through this project, and I'm really proud of how well it all got accented. And it is absolutely crazy to think that this piece of wood right here at one time or another used to look just like this piece here. And when it started out, it just started out with a few knots just like this here. And I kind of was like, well, this has several different knots in it. And maybe, just maybe, I might be able to make the sign that I had dreamed about through the years. Well, I hope this video helps you guys out with your wood carving adventures to come. Stay tuned for the following video, because with the following video, we're going to be taping this all off here. And I'm going to be trying something that I've never tried before, but I'm going to be trying to just stain the chunk of wood here and leaving all of this back area white. And that way, when we get everything laid out on the back here, it will be nice and sharp with the burnt black lettering and the white background. And then the stick will be accented out even further by being stained. So yeah, just stay tuned, because part 2 is going to be probably just as interesting as this video, if not more. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and can't wait to see you on the next one. Talk to you later.